Alright folks, welcome back. And I want to set the stage here for something I'm going to show you here in just a moment. I did run into another little issue this afternoon. It's nothing I can't work around, but it's just going to cause just a little bit more work, a little bit more labor. What I had to do, and again, like I said, I'm setting the stage here for what I'm about to show you. I had to get this surface level, and I had to get it to where it was parallel with the concrete floor. And I'm going to tell you why here in a moment. But the way I did that was I just made this little pointer tool right here, and as you can see right there, it's even pointing right at this corner. And then go to the next station here, and that one's pointing at this corner right here. I can just set it right there, and it's nice and even right there. And I've got to trust that my floor is fairly level. I'm gonna have to walk by faith there. And as you can see, it's pointing at that corner, and same right here, it's pointing at that corner right there. And what that is that's the top surface of my boat. And then when I set that up, it's also pointing to that corner. Trust me, it is. A little optical illusion there. Okay, so I'm going to show you why I showed you that here in just a moment. Let me get it set up. I'll be right back. And I'm back. And what you're looking at right here, of course, is the top half of the side of the hull. Remember, I split this into an upper and a lower half, and the boat's upside down. For those of you who are just now finding this channel, I've got the boat sitting upside down. So this would be the top half, this is the bottom half. And the way that I drew this up is I wanted this panel to overlap this panel. And of course, I drew this up on paper. I did not draw it up on a CAD program or anything. I'm not sure that even if I had drawn it up in a CAD program, that I would have been able to foresee what I ran across. And what I was hoping was that this line right here, remember I said I did this in two sections because I wanted this line to run horizontally down the length of the boat, just to kind of break up this big area right here. And what I was hoping was that this line would intersect when I made this curve right here, and I was hoping it would intersect right here at this corner of the bow. And of course, you know, this would be the lower outboard corner. Well, it didn't quite work out that way, as you can see. It probably is about 4 inches low right there, and so had to come up with a workaround. And in fact, I'd kind of scratched my head on it for a little while and did come up with a way to get around it. It's not something that I cannot recover from. I will still have this panel and this line right here like I want it, but just going to have to do a little bit extra cutting, a little bit extra trimming. And so let me show you what I did over here, and I've already done it to the other side. And now, before I get into that, as you can see, that top panel is hanging down, oh gosh, probably about 4 or 5 inches or so below this corner right here, whereas over here it's nice and even. Of course, like I said, I had to trim this down, but when I trimmed this down, then I was able to use that piece that I cut away for a template to make like a little plug to go in up here on the top of it, or I should say the bottom, top from my perspective right now, but to go and just to fill in this space right here. And so let me show you what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That little kind of a triangle shaped piece right there is going to bond in place right there on both sides to give me that line that I want. And I'll just bond it in place with the epoxy and bond it to the lower panel right here. And it's a little bit extra work, but really it wasn't anything that I could not recover from. Just like I said earlier, it's just hard to predict how the plywood is going to behave. And had I made the boat, had I designed the boat to be maybe a 15 or 16 foot boat, then those lines would have eventually intersected out here somewhere, but probably wouldn't be able to close the garage door. Or had I just made the bow a little bit narrower again, then this line and this line would have eventually intersected at this corner right here. Of course, this corner wouldn't be here, it would be out here somewhere. But like I said, it was just had to come up with a way to work around it, and I did. Let me show you what I did. And remember earlier I was telling you about this little pointer that I made here, this little tool to locate these corners. And so what I did something similar to what I did when I was marking off this curve right here at this part of the bow. I just, like I mentioned earlier, I got this part of the boat level with the floor, and we're just hoping that the floor is somewhat level. And then I just I did like I did with that straight edge up here on top of the bow. I just moved this piece along the that panel right there, and came in this lower corner right here with my pencil, made a mark, and moved it, and made a mark, moved it again, made another mark, until I got all the way up here to this corner at the bow, made my last mark. And of course I already had, when I cut that piece on the other side, I already had this cut right here. So I just found this corner right here, made my last mark, and then just connected the little dash lines there and cut on that line, and that was what gave me this piece right here. And this was actually what I cut off of the other side right there. I cut that piece off the other side. That came off right there. And then, like I said, I used this for a template to make this piece, because it needed to be about 1/4 inch wider right across here. And so again, I just used it for a template. And actually what I did was I just took a little piece of 1/4 inch square stock and laid it along this edge right here, and then just marked along that little square stock. And that worked out quite well. Actually, this right here is the piece that I used. I just laid it in like so. And I had a piece of leftover Morandi plywood, laid that on top of it, found the factory edge, and then just made my mark right along that little piece of square stock there that you see. But it's a fairly easy fix, just a little bit more work involved to it. Like I said, I will get this line up here where I want it, but this will of course be 2 pieces instead of 1 piece. It's just hard to predict how the plywood's going to behave. Maybe had I maintained this angle when I got to this point, it might have intersected, I don't know. But when I brought this forward, I put just a little bit of a twist in it right there, just trying to give it a little bit of style, a little bit of flair in the design. And well, like I said, it'll be a little bit extra work getting that fixed, but we'll get there. All right, folks, we will see you in the next video.